So we both saw Sausage Party
Yeah.
at different times. And I liked it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I have some issues with the movie.
Mm.
And there's certain issues I had with it that I didn't think I would, and kind of makes me feel like I'm becoming an old man. So let's hear your opinions on some of your initial reactions first.
Alrighty. Okay, so overall, I thought it was a very funny movie. I mean, it's very childish, it's very juvenile in places.
16-year-olds are going to love this fucking movie.
Yeah.
This is going to be the new Friday. Okay? I was 16 when Friday came out.
Especially 16-year-olds who think they're intellectuals. Because the movie is going to seem very deep to them.
Right. Yeah, and we're definitely going to get into that aspect of it. Now, here's the thing. You know, I mentioned that it kind of made me feel like an old man. Because here's the issue that I have with Sausage Party that I didn't think I would. Is that the language was excessive. Okay? And you're laughing.
You are
now.
old, man. Damn, man.
You're laughing. And I cuss all the time, right?
Yeah.
But here's the thing. I'm watching it first, 10 minutes. It's fuck every other word. And
I mean,
it
even
just
in
makes
that
me
opening
feel right.
musical scene.
Yeah. And honestly, it just made me feel like we're doing an R-rated animated feature and we're gonna just milk it with fucks as much as we can. And to me, what that makes me feel like is that, you know, fuck is a filler word. Okay? Like rappers that say, and songwriters that have to say fuck just to have a syllable in there to get to the next part of the verse. That just shows poor writing ability. Okay? For example, Red Hot Chili Peppers. They say motherfucker just as a way to get them from here to there, you know. I gotta warn you about the motherfucking girls of California.
Yeah.
You know, that's how it is, you know, and it's just like, I've got to put some syllables in there, so why not the word fuck? Okay? But this is like, we're making an adult movie, and we're just gonna say fuck every other word. That aside, I mean, a lot of scenes were hilarious. The horror movie scene when they finally get into the kitchen, I was wondering when that part was going to happen,
right?
Because that was from the first trailer. That was incredible. A lot of the what am I trying to say? Like the foods that represent different races,
yeah,
was great, and they really don't, you know, they don't hold back on anybody.
I loved that Edward Norton was the bagel.
Right. I didn't see that coming at all.
Like, I didn't recognize his voice throughout the entire movie.
Seth Rogen was really one of the only voices I recognized because I knew Danny McBride was in it, and I had to go back and look to see which one he played because Danny McBride has a very familiar voice and way of speaking. He
Gotta get a motherfucking scholarship.
He was Honey Mustard.
What?
Yeah,
really,
he was Honey Mustard, and I was like, I'll have to see that movie again just to see if that makes sense as being
right.
Danny McBride. But okay, so the racial thing was very clever, and the Muslim and Jewish bagel friendship thing, and the whole allegory of like sharing the aisle and with the Holy Land and like the Israel type thing, that was great.
Well, I mean, because the whole thing, and I'm sure that we will get further into it a little bit later, but I mean, the whole thing is just an allegory about religion.
And atheism.
Yeah.
And basically about how we should embrace atheism, but also it's about not being a dick.
Not being a dick.
Being an atheist.
Yes,
and
exactly.
So here's where Sausage Party can do some good, because I am an atheist, all right? But one of the problems and one of the reasons that I
don't talk about it,
and that for a long time I identified as an agnostic is because other atheists make us look bad because they are so quick to challenge other people's
Richard
faith.
Dawkins is a fucking asshole.
Right. And I've sat there and listened in person to atheists just challenging other people's faith. And if you've grown up in a religious household like I did, you know, people take that very seriously.
Absolutely.
And it's very offensive to them when you challenge their faith in a way that it's basically saying you're stupid because you believe this. And I don't do that.
Exactly.
Have you ever heard me do that?
Not once.
Right. So that I was like, if this just saves one neckbeard from being a fucking asshole atheist, then this movie has done its
It's
job.
already done something better for the world.
Right. But it's also shining the light on, we can't fuck until we get to the great beyond and all these like sin, and sin and all these things, which leads us into the ending of the movie. Which honestly, watching the ending in a packed movie theater, I felt like I feel embarrassed just
filthy.
to be in the same room as all these other people that are watching the same thing go down as I am. I was like, oh my God, this is just dirty. Which even again makes me sound like a fucking prude, and I'm not. And you know me, I'm not a prude, but at the same time, I'm just like, wow. Because I mean, I wouldn't watch porn with other people, and this was as close to animated porn as we're gonna get as far as a mainstream release.
Yeah.
Actually, I heard that it did get an NC-17 rating at first because of a pubic hair on the Muslim burrito dude, Lavash.
Yeah.
And they had to edit that out to get an R rating. And I was like, that's the thing. A pubic hair is what's going to keep you from an R to an NC-17 movie. What kind of staying power do you think this movie's going to have?
That's actually a really interesting question. I don't know. Because, I mean, I saw it once. I don't think that I need to see it again.
Right. It might be something that I, when it comes out like online or on DVD or HBO or whatever, it might be something to have on in the background. Yeah. It may be something to revisit 5 years later or something. But at the same time, it's not one of those movies that I'm just going to be like, oh, everyone needs to see this.
Yeah.
Would I recommend it to my mother? No. Absolutely not. Would I recommend it to anyone under the age of like 18? Probably not, but you know that the young kids are going to get their hands on it and they're going to love it. They're absolutely going to love it. It's going to be one of those movies. I remember like when Clerks came out and it was so filthy. Just the dialogue was so filthy. And it was all I could think about. And that's what made me the Kevin Smith fan that I am. But, I think we all have one of those movies when we're a teenager that's just so adult, but at the same time appeals to you. Like, Friday. It came out when I was in junior high school.
Yeah.
And then, movies like Clerks and stuff like that, where the 16, 17, 18-year-old kids, oh my God, that's going to be some people's favorite movies.
Yeah.
Because I look back at movies that I used to like whenever I was a kid that I loved, like Billy Madison and Ace Ventura and stuff. If I had seen those movies today as a 35-year-old man, almost 35, I would be like, this is stupid.
It's so childish. Yeah.
But, when
those
a movie
formative
like
years
hits you at the right time, it definitely has an impact on you. And hey, we may get more atheists out of it, which can't be a bad thing because, atheists don't crash planes into buildings and they don't behead people and they don't, do all
this. I mean, I wouldn't put it past Richard Dawkins.
Yeah. So, I mean, as far as would you recommend Sausage Party? It just depends on the person. Really.
Yeah. I mean, and I feel like there are some people that probably do need to see it, at least for that message. But, I mean, it's the same thing about not being the dick kind of atheist.
Right, and it's a lot of fun. There's just there's a lot of good jokes in it. There's some jokes that fall flat. There's some scenes that just kind of like, what the fuck? Like when the stoner junkie dude's head just pops out of the AC duct. And then from then on, it's just like, what the fuck? And then the orgy scene at the end. It's definitely, I mean, it's got a very Team America vibe to it. And, I mean, I would recommend it only to certain people.
Yeah.
I would say I wouldn't recommend it to anybody older than me. I wouldn't recommend it to anybody that's overly religious. Did you see any young people in the movie theater? Because I think I saw some people who looked like they were under 18.
No, and we went to see it at like 4:00 on a Saturday.
Right. I mean, I could only imagine some idiot parent bringing their young kids in. And then
the same thing happened with
demanding
Deadpool.
Their money back.
Yeah, the same thing happened with Deadpool.
And you know what? That brings me to another point. 2016 has been a pretty incredible year for movies if you think about it, in the fact that we had one of the highest grossing R-rated movies of all time, true to the comic Deadpool adaptation.
Mm.
And then we have a movie like Sausage Party, which has the look of maybe a Pixar
Mm-hmm.
CGI animated movie in the same year. And it just seems like more and more, hopefully these kind of movies will get greenlit and, you know, be able to appeal to an older movie-going audience, because PG-13 is the norm for movies these days. I don't see a lot of movies that come out that are even rated PG unless they are specifically intended for children.
Yeah. And I mean, the very fact that PG now is the new G, because you never see any G-rated movies anymore.
I don't even remember the last even seeing a trailer for a G-rated movie in a long time. So if you're listening out there, and if you can tell me what the last G-rated movie...
Well, and granted, like, we tend to not go see movies that are going to have trailers before them that are for G-rated
Well, and that's the thing. I like kids' movies. And, you know, honestly, if you're in the mood to go see a movie and you can't decide, hey, an animated movie's probably going to be your best bet. One of my favorite movies that have been made for children within the last 5 years is Wreck-It Ralph. I absolutely
that is an amazing movie.
Adore that movie.
Yeah.
First of all, because I love video games and I love Sarah Silverman, and yeah, and it's great. And I will be at the theater to see
Wreck-It Ralph,
the Wreck-It Ralph sequel.
Yeah,
I never saw Finding Nemo, but I know a lot of people my age that went and saw Finding Dory.
Oh, I did.
Right? Yeah. So
awesome.
Yeah, and so those are definitely going to have an audience, and they're definitely going to appeal to people of all ages, even if you don't have children.
Yeah.
But that also, I think, the success amongst adults for movies like Finding Nemo and Finding Dory and movies like Wreck-It Ralph just paved the way for Sausage Party, because a CGI animated movie is not cheap to make.
No.
Right? So just the fact that even got greenlit and funded and a national theatrical release is pretty incredible if you think about it.
I mean, and it did take, like 3 years to actually get made, because, I mean, they had to secure the funding. They had to find a distributor.
And then just doing all that animation just takes a long time. So anything else you want to say about Sausage Party before we move on?
Well, okay. So earlier you had mentioned... like seeing a specific movie, like at the right time. Right. And I feel like for me, that was me being introduced to South Park. And I was probably about 10, because...
I was in high school when South Park came out.
Because, I mean, it was 1998. So I was about 10 or 11.
Then I was in high school. I graduated in 99. So, yeah.
Yeah. And
I'm
like...
so old.
But, like that just the ridiculous aspects of early South Park, and then like that has continued to be a formative voice in my life.
Yeah, and it's,
for the last nearly 20 years now.
Yeah, I think someone said the other day that it was like the 19th anniversary of South Park premiering or something. It's crazy.
Yeah.
And to think that animated series can last that long. I mean, Simpsons is still on. And I remember a time before Simpsons, but it wasn't very long before, because I remember maybe second or third grade.
Yeah, I think
talking about Bart Simpson and everything. And I mean, Simpsons. I mean, you're younger than me, so yeah. Do you remember a time that the Simpsons wasn't a thing?
No, because I was 2 or 3 when the Simpsons premiered in 89 or 90, and no.
Yeah.
I don't remember a life before The Simpsons existed.
Now, do I watch The Simpsons anymore?
No.
No. And at this point, it seems like it's maybe just like this legacy series that they're just never going to cancel just because.
It's like General Hospital.
It's like Bones. Bones is still on.
It's still on.
Who watches Bones?
This weekend, is Bones still a thing?
Yeah.
Bones is still a thing, you guys.
Moving on. Like, I don't know anybody who watches Bones, but apparently it's been on for like 13, 14 years. It's just, it just blows my mind every time I hear something about Bones being renewed for another season or something. I'm just like,
I saw something the other day from the president of the CW network, and he's like, "Yeah, Supernatural is gonna be around long after I'm gone." He's like, "I'm not gonna be here when Supernatural is canceled. I will have retired by then."
And you know what? I've never watched Supernatural either, but hey, I actually know people that like that show. So
I like that show.
Well, there you go. All right, let's move on. We're going to talk a little bit about Pokemon.
This week in Pokemon Go next.
Yes.